Z5 measures metric to imperial and back again. Boy, oh boy, this is tricky. You will get questions about this in the 11 plus. They're very rare, but you need to know the basic conversions between them. So you need to have a feel for what an inch is and a foot is and a yard is and so forth. You don't need to know them exactly, as sometimes they give you guidance for conversion. Sometimes you just need to know a rough conversion. So here goes. Let's talk distance. Okay, we have inches and feet, which we've already spoken about when we've been talking about converting people's height from feet and inches into meters. So an inch is about 2.5 centimeters. You don't need to know any more accuracy than that. A foot is about 30 centimeters. Indeed, there are 12 inches in a foot. There are 3 feet in what we call a yard, and a yard is a little bit like a metre, but it's slightly less than a metre, so I'll just put less than 1 metre. This is the really weird one. To go from yards into miles, there are 1,760 yards in a mile, and a mile is longer than a kilometre. It's about 1.6 kilometres. In some questions they might say assume that a mile is 1.5 kilometres. Just see what they suggest. Boy, that's tricky. Now you can see why I actually prefer metric. Let's go for ounces, pounds and stone, which are used to measure weight. An ounce is about 25 grams. It's actually nearer to 28 grams, but 25 is a good conversion because it's much easier to work with multiples of 25. However, do look at the question and see if it actually gives you a guidance as to what to use. The ones in the homework do mostly say assume that an ounce is 25 grams. How many ounces in a pound? Well, there are 16. So a pound is approximately 400 to 450 grams, depending upon what you use as your conversion from over here. There are 14 pounds in a stone. A stone is a weight that you normally use to weigh yourself. So a stone ends up being roughly, approximately 6 kilograms. Tricky, tricky conversions. Lastly, we have got litres, sorry, not litres, we've got capacity, which we're used to using litres and millilitres in. A pint is approximately 500 millilitres. In actual fact, it's more than that. It's 560, I think it's 567 or 568 millilitres. But 500 is a good conversion unit because it's easy to find multiples of 500. There are 8 pints in a gallon. You've probably seen gallons being used when you're talking about buying fuel for your car. A gallon actually equates to approximately 4.5 litres. You might say, well, how does that work? If a pint is only 500, doesn't that make 4 litres? Well, it's because a pint is actually slightly more. You would convert this by timesing by 8 to give you roughly 4.5 litres. I tell you what, the metric system is pretty easy comparing to this because of the fact that you're constantly timesing or dividing by 10, 100 or 1,000. I don't know about you, but I certainly don't know my 1,760 times table.